Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog.stampwithelaine.com. Today's project is this gatefold Easter card. It's got a belly band and it opens like this. I used rather a lot of dies for this card. If you've got them, it's silly not to use them. If you haven't got these, you can substitute it for something else. Or if you'd like to invest in one, these are fantastic dies to add to your stash. To make this card, I use the Timeless Tulips stamp set. I use the Ornate Borders set, and this is the one that we'll be using today. Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I'm going to be using this one. Dies from the Word Wishes set, which is bundled with the A Wish for Everything stamp set. I've already pre-die cut those to save time in Daffodil Delight, and I also die cut two soft sea foam labels with this die from the Stitched So Sweetly dies. We'll run through the cardstock you'll need to make this gatefold. And it's got a bit of odd scoring because we are actually going to use the border die to butt up right to the edge of the cardstock, and you have to allow tolerance for it, otherwise it will leave a gap when you close the card. This is 9 1/8 inch by 5 3/4. In metric that will be 23.2 centimeters by 14.6 centimeters. Then with the long side at the top, you want to score at 2 5/16 of an inch. So this is 8, so you count backwards 3. So it's just after this 1/4 inch mark. Scoot it along to 6 13/16, which will be 3 back from these little tiny marks here. So it's just after the 6 3/4 inch mark, and you score again there. Okay, in metric that will be 5.8 centimeters and 17.3 centimeters. For the two side panels, you have 2 soft sea foam, and these have been cut at 2 1/8 by 5 1/2. In metric that's 5.4 centimeters by 14 centimeters. And then you need 2 whisper white pieces, 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. That's 4.8 by 13.3 centimeters. Center panel, that's also in soft sea foam. It's 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. That's 10.8 by 14 centimeters, and the whisper white panel that goes on top is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, which is 10.2 centimeters by 13.3. I have the belly band, and this is cut at 1 inch by an A4 length. So that's 2.5 centimeters by an A4 length. The inks I'm using are Soft Sea Foam and Daffodil Delight. And I'm also going to be using my Stamparatus 1/4 inch ruched ribbon in Daffodil Delight. Gilded Gems. First we're going to die cut our border, and you need to place that with the cutting edge face down on your base cutting plate on top of the magnetic platform. Narrower edge where the markers are, which are these 2 straight bits here, is the one that you want closest to the edge. So line that up so that the petals are actually on the line of the edge of the cardstock. Want that jutting out the same distance. Then secure your tape onto the die, and then fold this back and fold this other gatefold back on itself, so that it will fit on the magnetic platform, then you put your top cutting plate on and you're ready to run it through the big shot. Now I've done that side, it's going to leave an impression on the back of the card, but I quite like that. It looks embossed. So now you've got to do the other side. Just check which way round it goes. So it's the narrower end right at the edge. You also want to make sure that your card is on the platform. And then secure the die. Make sure that distance is more or less equal. And stick that down so it doesn't move. And then you bend the cardstock back and forward. Oops, it's too far over. I have to move that to the centre so that the card's within that 6-inch width of the platform. So we're ready to go. Top cutting plate, and then I'll run that through the big shot as well. It's gatefold borders done. I'm going to glue the soft sea foam matte layers onto my card. I'll just do it on the 3 sides. Before I adhere it to the side panel, I'm just going to put a bit of Tombow on the ends here and on these bits and on the edges so that they don't buckle, and then adhere it to the cardstock. So make sure that that is flush with the edge of the die cut border. What I'll do is just run a line down the edge like that, and then just a bit here at the end. Bring in my Daffodil Delight ink, and I'm going to stamp a tulip there. Oops, I should have put my mat down, and I forgot. I've got a bit of dirt on here, that's why there's that spot there. So take that off. I'm going to have to punch a tulip out of this as a mask. And pop that on there. This seems to be a little bigger, so you just need to scooch it over. Switch ink pads to the soft sea foam. And stamp a stem there. Now to stamp a stem for the tulip down here. I'll just use a little bit of Daffodil Delight to patch that up. Then I'll stamp this one. Now to stamp the stem from this side. Oops, I forgot to press record. Bring in my stamp apparatus and stamp the sentiment for the inside of the card. The last thing to do is stamp the smallest tulip down here. Swap ink pads to soft sea foam my foam mat. Oh bother, I forgot to press record again, and besides I've smudged it. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to bother to do it again. So I'll just use this as my sample and prototype. Glue that there. So take that A4 length by 1 inch strip and offer it up to the card like so. Wrap it round. You don't want it too tight. Just use a bone folder to reinforce the edges. Take it off. Put glue on the shorter piece. And bring that down over it. Make sure it's glued down properly. Glue in the middle over that join so it doesn't catch when you sliding it on and off. Take a length of ribbon and cut it off. Pop a bit of tear and tape in the middle here to anchor the ribbon down. And then apply adhesive to the back of the stitched label and on this bit here. Align it together, make sure that it's all flush and it's not sticking out anywhere, and pinch it together to make sure it bonds. Bring in my pre-die cut letters, and I put that special adhesive sheet on the back of my cardstock when I die cut letters like this, so I don't have to faff around gluing stuff. So I've adhered my letters, slide it onto my card and tie a bow. Add one of these faceted dots. I think I'll use a large one. So that's the card finished. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Thanks for joining me today, and keep yourselves safe whilst we're on lockdown, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.